Yeah.
Good. Thank you for connecting with us today. And let me just tell you that as Lemon Sea, our main objective is to raise awareness on ocean acidification, and especially with youth. And so when we heard about what you did in terms of ocean acidification, and you are 13 years old, right?
I'm 14 now.
Oh, you're 14. Okay, sorry. And so this is exactly, the voice we want to be hearing. We want to know about your project. And so basically, let me just start by perhaps if you could share with us what your story is, and then how you became aware of the problem of ocean acidification.
Okay, so 2 years ago I went to Mexico and we went diving. And while I was there, I saw a lot of dead coral, and I thought that was really sad because you expect to go diving, you expect to see all these beautiful colors and fish, which you did see, but as you'd be swimming, they'd be like, "Oh no, you don't need to go over there. It's okay." And then we had an ecological center really close to our hotel. So when we went there, it's like a marine protected area. So there was a lot of information about ocean acidification, and I had no idea what ocean acidification was. And so I started looking into it, and I thought, hey, like this is a really big problem. And at our school, we tend to do a science fair project every year, which I really like doing. And I thought, oh, maybe I could try to do something on this. I don't really know that will work, but it might be interesting. And so in my research, I found out that ocean acidification, we're losing a lot of calcium carbonate. And so I thought, oh, well, maybe there's something that has a lot of calcium carbonate in it, but I didn't really know. And so the biggest thing was everyone's like, oh, limestone, limestone. But we can't just take limestone out of the earth because that's just going to create another problem. But I did find out that a lot of shells, like mussel, clam, and oyster, have a lot of calcium carbonate in them, and that we're currently sending them all to landfill. So I thought, why would we be putting them into landfill when we could be recycling them back into the ocean, potentially in a powdered form, to try to slow down the effects of ocean acidification? Because normally, if ocean acidification wasn't happening and we weren't having overfishing, these shells would naturally be degrading back into the ocean, sort of like an ocean buffer.
Right. No, I mean, that's excellent, I guess, because not only did you learn about the problem very soon enough, but you also decided to come up with actually a sort of a problem and come up with a solution. So that's just, I thought that was amazing. But then now, can you try to sort of share with us how you got involved into the Google Science Fair and how you presented your project and all of the steps, so everything that implied?
So the Google Science Fair has been running for about 5 years, and every year I see the little banner, oh, come do the Google Science Fair, but you have to be 13. So I
Oh,
actually did a science fair project in grade 7, so I guess like 2 years ago. And I thought, well, I have the project, it's kind of good. It'd be great if people heard about it, but I didn't think I was going to do that well. So, I added in all the information and submitted it. And then a couple months later, I found out I was part of the 90 finalists, and I was really excited because I didn't think there was any way I was going to make the top 90. And then I was looking at all the top 90. I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to make it into the top 20. And I got a phone call and I talked to them about my project, and I thought it went pretty well. But I read some of the other projects and I thought, maybe I'll make it. And then when I made the top 20, I kind of went crazy and was very, very, very excited. And it was super exciting because we got to go to California and they had these huge displays of our projects, and we had these really cool people who were talking to us about our project. We had people from Scientific America, National Geographic, and Virgin Galactic, and that was super exciting because they wanted to hear about what we were doing. And most of the kids there had maybe done a science fair and done well. Some of the kids had never done science fairs before. It was really exciting that kids were just trying something out. And a lot of kids just thought, oh, I thought maybe this would work. And it was just so exciting to have all these people so interested in your project. And then the public viewing day was great because all these people were coming to hear what you were doing. And a lot of people were really inspired to try it out next year.
that's amazing, really. Congratulations. And then in the end, were you the only one out of the 20 finalists that was talking about ocean-related problems, or tell me a little bit about the other projects?
Yeah, so the girl who won did a Ebola test that doesn't need to be refrigerated and costs $25, which is really cool. In environmental, there was some girl who, I'm not sure, it was some sort of water project, cleaning water. There was another one about cleaning water. another one about, I don't know, I think nanotechnologies. But yeah, I was pretty much the only one that focused on ocean acidification.
That's great. And
Yeah.
then what are the sort of next steps after this science Google Science Fair, award? So what are you doing now?
Right now I haven't quite started so much. I'm looking into maybe what else I could use recycled shells for, and then looking into a little bit more how I can go a little bit further on this project, but I'm not quite sure exactly what I'm going to do yet.
No, that's fine. I mean, we're all trying to figure it out. So I have a very specific question, and then hopefully you can explain it in a very simple way. So how would you, define ocean acidification, but especially in a way, that other kids your age would understand? Like, how do you, every time you try to explain your project, how do you explain it to people? Or what do you say?
So normally I say something like humans produce a lot of carbon dioxide, which is CO2, and it comes from like cars and basically pollution, and then it goes up into the atmosphere, and then it's absorbed by the ocean. So a lot of people thought, oh, this is great, right? We don't have to deal with it. It's not going to be in the atmosphere. But basically, what happens is it changes the ocean chemistry, and it makes it more acidic, and it's making it harder for other animals to survive, and it's making it harder for things like coral reefs to survive. And it's a really, really big problem that a lot of people aren't aware of yet.
Right. That's exactly true. And then how do you think, I mean, when you talk to other young people, how do you think others could be more interested in environmental issues, not only ocean acidification, but I mean, everything that has to do with climate change? And, how do you think you can raise awareness on this topic?
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do. Obviously, social media is huge because pretty much everybody uses it now. And then also things like sending letters to politicians, because basically there's a lot of science to back it up, but politics is really, really far behind it. Especially, I find in Canada, it's fairly far behind. Our new government's sort of helping, but yeah, basically putting out the word, especially to people who are in positions of power, because the more letters you get, the more people who are saying, look, this is something we really have to deal with, the more likely it is to become a priority.
Right. And then you talked about social media. Tell us how, why you decided to join Twitter, and then how you're doing on that. I mean, even though, it's at the beginning, but it's a great step forward.
Yeah, I mean, Twitter is really great because you can send out a message really, really quickly. And with the retweeting and stuff, the message that starts maybe to like 5 or 10 people ends up going to a lot more than that. And if you see a message about something you really believe in, you don't have to say, oh yeah, that's cool. It can be like, oh, I'm going to show everyone else that this is something that they can do.
True. And then I guess another related question in terms of raising awareness. As you may be aware, there's going to be the climate change conference here, the COP21 in Paris, and it's coming up end of November, actually December. And so Lemon Sea is part of the Ocean Climate Platform, so it's around 64 members, and we're all trying to raise more awareness on the ocean. So if you were to participate, if you were to, send out a message to the negotiators that are going to be talking about how to reduce carbon dioxide emissions, what would your main message be? Or if you were able to come, what sort of actions would you promote?
I mean, the biggest thing is that the problem's not going to go away. And even though it's going to be a really big change for us to get rid of our carbon emissions, and a lot of people aren't going to want to do it, by not doing anything and just letting it continue, it's just going to become even harder to solve or potentially even impossible. And we've already let it go really, really far. We need to try to stop now. And we all shouldn't be afraid that change is necessarily a bad thing. It could end up being really great for society.
No, that's exactly, I think, what we need to be keeping an eye on. And then, I mean, those are basically the questions I had. It's basically introductory. Hopefully, we can have another hangout again. But do you want to add anything else? I mean, to the people that will be watching this video, what else do you think would be interesting to say?
I mean, more sort of on the science fair side of things, but it's really just important to try something, because I had an idea for my project and I thought, maybe this could have an impact, but, the chances that it would work I thought were really low. But I mean, I just tried something and it worked. And there's a lot of other kids who have an idea and maybe you're just too scared to say, oh, maybe we should try it this way, or why do we do things. It's just all about questioning. And regardless of questioning what, it usually comes with a better outcome. And even if it doesn't work, it potentially will work eventually.
Great. That's the attitude. And so congratulations. That's really good. And then finally, would you like to give, people your Twitter account, what it is, and that way they can follow you and they can start having a conversation about ocean acidification, and perhaps, share which scientists do you follow or do you read about, and what books do you like, and what links or websites you follow, so that people can know about ocean acidification.
Okay, so my Twitter account is at ScienceGirl53. And yeah, I haven't done much yet. Been very busy, but I'm definitely planning on doing a lot more.
Great. So then I guess this Google Hangout ends now. And then thank you for sharing all of this with us. And then hopefully we'll be talking, soon, so that we can communicate on what's going on and what are the steps forward. And maybe there's other young people like you that are doing great things on ocean acidification, and it would be great to put you all on the same platform, and be talking to each other, so that you can work on solutions at the same time.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. So then thank you for everything, and I'll talk to you soon. I'll talk to you soon, Isabella. Bye.
Bye.